Now going over to the business blunder of the day, you have WanaBana fruit pouches containing high levels of lead. Now this comes from an article written from the NPR, so of course they're going to have their bias, so it'll be interesting to see. This article specifically said that the puree pouches, regardless of their expiration date, are now subject to a voluntary recall by WanaBana. I want to say they get enough for marketing, but it is not very easy to pronounce. WanaBana. Nevertheless, they say that they sold them online through retailers such as Sam's Club, Amazon, and Dollar Tree. And when asked for comment, WanaBana, what the company name, they said, quote, "The company is committed to ensuring the safety of its products and the well-being of its consumers." Now, the FDA is saying that the children who have eaten the fruit pouches should get a blood test through their provider to ensure they don't have any unsafe levels of lead in their system. Now, investigators identified the puree pouches as a, quote, "potential shared source of exposure." The state then tested multiple lots of the product and found that they contained, quote, "extreme high concentrations of lead," unquote. Now, WanaBana USA is saying that they're working to determine the source of the lead contamination and urge consumers to stop using the products and return them for, of course, a full refund. Now, granted, all that being said, the monetary amount in the short term is not going to be half as bad as the reputation ding in the long term. Because especially for kids, parents, of course, as they should, well, I'd argue how many of them actually are doing their job in terms of making sure they're only taking part in actually viewing good content in terms of age-appropriate materials from a media perspective. But nevertheless, good parents are also looking at the children's diet and ensuring that the foods that they're giving them are extremely healthy. And in this case, it's a little sad because it's a little bit of the inverse. You would think it'd be healthy, although I don't know how much of a puree is really healthy. But nevertheless, as well as those instances where you thought the product was safe, and it turns out, quite the antithesis, not only is it unhealthy, but it's potentially, unfortunately, deadly. Now, that being said, thank God I don't see any reports thus far of any deaths from this specific incident. But as a parent, the damage to this brand, I can't think they would never trust that brand again. Either take a little effort to actually make your own puree, so throw apples into a blender, or just tell the kid to eat an apple. I mean, ideally, wash it, make sure if you can afford it, hopefully you can maybe get organic. But nevertheless, this, what used to be a convenient product that you trusted, that trust is gone. And especially for child material, child foods and child clothing and toys, lead is one of the biggest concerns because it does have many negative health aspects to it. Especially the younger the age are, the more of the impact it can negatively affect their body and their health. So when it comes to WanaBana, I can't but think this huge dent to the reputation, I don't know if it'll bankrupt the company or if the parent company will have to sell it off, but if you're a parent, let me know in the comments, would you ever trust this brand again? Would you ever purchase it and give it to your child? Because it's happened once. I'm not saying it's a guarantee it'll happen again, but for quality control, I don't know how they missed this. Because, again, you should be, especially with any food related, but especially kid food related, you should have the highest quality standards, be testing this all the time, especially for common things that are detrimentally negative to your health, such as the traditional things when it comes to food. Usually you think of mercury when it comes to seafood, because depending on where the fish are, that's one of the biggest detriments to that industry in that regard. But when it comes to this, I can't help but think they're not mentioning the fiscal impact in terms of the dollar amount, but it's going to hurt the company, and this is going to be the business blunder of the day. Thank you again, everyone, for taking the time to tune in today. Also, can't thank you enough for taking the time to click that subscribe button. Trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of November, so if you click that button, I greatly appreciate it. Also, leaving a comment is a great way to help me develop the channel, make the show better and better, and improve the quality. And lastly, don't forget to take time to tell your family, tell your coworkers, tell your friends, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.